Well, it's everyone's Matt Morozik, and it's been a while since I've done like an in progress video. But with this coronavirus crap that's going on, I learned today that I am officially furloughed on my job. So I haven't been laid off yet, but I'm furloughed. So I figured I'd try to use this opportunity to do some work in progress videos, show you what I'm working on. So a few projects to the side here I cannot show you because of licensing agreements. They're actually my some licensed pieces I'm doing for gaming heads. So I cannot show those to you because of copyright and all that stuff and my NDAs I had to sign. But this is a project I started a little while ago for Leo. Everyone knows who Leo is, probably. This is the Classic Flash quarter scale statue. And this is just kind of show him a video of where I am in the progress. All that's really left on him are the skin tones. So when Leo decided to get this piece, the caveat is that I kind of wanted to do it the way I wanted to do it because it was my piece, and I like to paint things the way I want. So I have been showing him photos and showing what I'm doing, and he has been giving a little bit of input, but for the most part, this is painted how I would paint it if I was going to put it in my cabinet. So starting from the bottom, let's go to the bottom here. We got some really nice, I just kind of went with like a bronzish gold tone and went in and did all sorts of, just all the shading on the panels and stuff and the rivets in there. So it's got a real nice metallic look to it. Then I just painted this rim black to separate that from the concrete. Concrete's pretty simple, just kind of gray tones. There's some brown undertones in there too. We've got the bullets. I don't have any of his hands. In one of his hands he's holding some bullets that he's caught. We've got some newspapers here that are kind of blowing in the wind. They gave you decals for those. Those were really tricky. The decals were super, super thin, and they turned out okay. What I really like on this, the boots, kind of went with kind of like a reddish leather. You can kind of see some shading in there, and we went some with worn, just worn kind of brown soles. What I really like on this, I like the shade of blue that I have going on. Sorry, it's just some dust on it. I love the shade of blue. It's kind of got this nice classic blue. I don't want to say it's denim because well, maybe it is denim, classic blue denim. When I do a blue like this, there are several steps. There's probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, about 5 different steps I go through to get shading like this. It's getting washed out a little bit in camera. The real tricky part when you're doing things like this and you're showing work in progress photos to a client, at least for me, and even though I'm a photographer and stuff, is to really show off all the shading and everything that's happening. Because a lot of stuff I do is very subtle, and you don't see it until you get the piece in person. So a lot of times I have to, and I've done a few things for Leo's, like I have to tell him, like, you have to trust me, it's there, it looks good. I have yet to deliver a piece that someone didn't think it looked better than the photos. And then we move up to the red, and again, just I love this shade of red. It's got a little bit of orange in it, just a hair, and the shading is really, really nice. The sculpt is beautiful, so a lot of details, a lot of great wrinkles. Right now I've got just the head that has the helmet on there. Just for Leo, I'm not going to glue the wings on top of the helmets because they sit in there fairly well, and I'm afraid they'll get broken. Unfortunately, I did have to glue the wings onto the feet because they're not magnetized and there's no room to put a magnet in there, so I had to glue those on, unfortunately. But so I'll try to pack those up as best as possible. My only one real crit about this kit is this magnet, and this newspaper is a little weak. So once it's on there, it stays, but if you're spinning it around and moving it like I am, it can fall off. And then the way this fits in there is a little wonky. There's a key, but see, it's just the way it is. They're all like that, but it does hold it. It's just a thin piece of resin. So yeah, it looks good. I have seen this with a yellow stripe down the road. I personally don't like that. I think it takes away from Flash himself, so I didn't do that. I just kind of liked it without the yellow stripe in the road. So for the helmet, I'm actually really happy with how these turned out. There's 2 of them because he's got an alternate portrait where he's holding his helmet in one of his hands. So for this, what it is, It's basically a satin black paint, and then what I do is I go in with Kosujin Sun powder, and I just buffed as hard as I could, and it gives it a very nice hammered metal look. It's not chrome, it's not, it just looks really, really good. It looks like truly hammered metal, and the sculpt looks like hammered metal, so it fits it very, very well. So I'm really happy with that. So also we left, in my opinion, are the skin tones. You can see the base here, the top of the base. I have seen some where they do the manhole like a really kind of rusty color, but it's not realistic, so I went with a steel. I actually did start out with a rust color, but then I dry brushed it with steel and some other metallics, and this looks more realistic to me than the rust color, so it looks really good. It looks very, very realistic to what a manhole cover would be in person. Just for your info, Leo, I was able to take the vinyl off the bottom. He asked me not to put the vinyl on, and I had already done that. And luckily I got it off and didn't mess up the paint, and the vinyl was very wrinkled when I got it. It was just really in really bad shape. So I was able to get that off for you. So all I really need is a day to get this guy finished, I think. A day, maybe a day and a half to do the skin tones and the hair and stuff. So really nice. Here's the other head. I'll put it on, even though it's not painted. Take this guy off. So my only two crits on this piece really are the magnet and that one newspaper. Actually, three crits. The magnet and that one newspaper, the decals for the newspaper, and the packaging on this. The packaging is really, really funky, to the point where I don't want to put this back in the original box and ship it to them, because the way the foam was cut and layered, it just doesn't make sense. It's really convoluted on how it all goes together. So in this video that I'm looking at right now, this red is a little punchy. It's not quite so punchy. It's a little more muted. Oops. Let me get the other arm in there, because it's got some switch outs. Sorry, take off my mic. So like this arm has the hand holding the bullets. This hand will be holding the helmet. With this head, you would have this hand in holding the helmet. I guess I could do it. Let's see. The hand is not pinned or magnetized, so it may fall out. So this would go here. And it actually comes with two helmets, but I can use the same helmet for this purpose. And that would go there, and he's holding his helmet, which I really like. Kind of like that. And then he's got a hand here holding some bullets that he's caught. So this hand here, you can see the hole in it for the bullets. The hands will get glued in. Just a really, really great piece. So I got this piece in trade from Jason Fielder. He traded me a prototype kit for this. So really cool piece. So there you go, Leo. That's where it is. I think it looks phenomenal. Like I said, at least looking on my phone, the colors are a little punchy, but I know you wanted it really punchy, but again, this is how I paint. I don't paint like Kenny Alessandro, and that he has a completely different style, but this looks really, really phenomenal. I think you'll like it. So there you go, a little 8-minute video on the Flash and where I am. Hopefully I'll have this done in a day or so. In between, I'm the in-home school teacher since the schools are out too, and I'm officially furloughed as of starting on Sunday. So yeah, so hopefully I'll have a job in the next 30 days. Otherwise I'll have to look for something. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this guy up. I'm gonna finish up these two license pieces. I've got a Hellboy I gotta do. I gotta do a Gladiator. I've got several commissions. I got like probably 4 more commissions before I'm done with all my obligations commission wise. And then I've got some personal pieces, kits that I was trying to sell that didn't sell. I'll paint those and then sell them. Hopefully there's some collectors out there that can still buy this stuff for me, because this is going to be my income for the next few months if need be. But there you go. There's Flash looking really, I love it. I think it's a great piece. I love the sculpt. I love the whole feel of the piece. I really like that bottom metallic color. That took some work. It looks simple, but to get it to look like that, it probably took me half a day just to do just this metallic and the shading. Again, I did like a I'd start off with black. I did a Kosu Jinsun. If you don't know what Kosu Jinsun powder is, let me show you. I don't want to take it out of the package because it's super, super messy. And I don't want to get it on my fingers. But it's this stuff. And I've got two containers of this. Basically, it's a really fine graphite powder. And if you have a super glossy black surface, you can get a really nice black metallic, black chrome. It will look like chrome, like a mirror. You won't get a bright chrome, but you'll get a black chrome. And you can do it over any color, so it'll take on that color's tint in the chrome. So that's what I did. So I did the bottom with the Kosu Jinsun, and then I started layering in candy colors and doing all the shading and stuff. So that took quite a while to get this look, and I love it. I think it's a great contrast between everything else, and it complements the blue on his pants very well. It's not the same color as this on the chest of his uniform. I thought about doing that, but I wanted him to be his own. I wanted him to stand alone, apart from everything else. So it's just, I think it looks good. I think it's a nice play on color. So there you go. There's the progress on this, and hopefully I'll have it done in the next few days.